What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the market report for February of 2024. So we're going to take a look at all the data from 2023 into 2024, and we're going to try to decide where things are going to go from here. Again, there's some surprising data in here that I have not expected. You know, a lot of people have been calling for a lot of things for many years now. Everybody's talking crash, crash, crash. Everything's inflated. There's a bubble. There are some concerning numbers in here this month. And we're going to talk about that and maybe why they occurred and if they're really concerning going forward or if it's something we can expect to correct, as we head into the year and the market starts to pick up a little bit. So let's dive right in and see what we got. The average sale price in January of 2024 dropped all the way to $355,000, $355,160. Now that's still up 4.8% from the previous January. And, that's why I'm going to kind of talk about why it's maybe not as concerning as it looks, right? If we cut off the graph right here and we just looked at this dip, you'd be concerned. You would think the market is on its way down. If you look at previous years though, that's fairly normal, especially going into last year. We saw quite a big dip coming out of a couple of years of steady increase. You know what I mean? And if you look at markets, this is pretty normal, right? If you saw 2 years of steady increases and then you started to see this in a stock market, in a stock, this is basically breaking even, right? Like you're plateauing after an increase, which is normal. This is something you would expect in markets. And again, real estate's very seasonal. So you'll notice that there's increases in the spring and summer, decreases in the fall, right? Year after year after year, it's a very seasonal market. Increases in the spring and summer, decreases in the fall, right? So the fact that we're down here in January versus, you know what I mean? If you look at previous Januaries, it's still an upward trend. So what we can expect to see going forward is probably one more month of decline heading into February, which is pretty normal. And then we're gonna see things start to rebound when the market rebounds and buyers flood back in after tax returns and all that. You know, again, holidays are typically slow, buyers are not in the market. And so people are kind of buying up the listings that have been sitting there for a while. You've got investors picking up properties cheap. And basically the only sellers who are entering the market at this point are the people who have to sell right now. And because of that high urgency, a lot of times they're taking price cuts, and that's going to allow the price to go down a little bit. Again, looking at the last 3 years, as far as January's go, 355,000 this year. 338,832 in 2023, 343,236 in 2022, and 327,000 in 2021. So again, fairly steady increase throughout, as we would expect, but fairly level actually since at least 2022. We still kind of saw some increases in 2021, but we've pretty much been level since January of 2022, and that's what we could expect. Now, when you watch markets, what usually happens after that plateau? Eventually, things either break up or they break down. So that's going to be the big question, right? Where are things going to break when it finally does break up or down? Price per square foot, we dropped to $214 per square foot. Again, people are kind of buying up the inventory that's left on the market at this point, and you've got investors buying properties where really nobody else is in the market. Nobody's trying to move at Christmas time. You know what I mean? If they can help it. So again, urgency is really high for the people who are in the market at this point, at least the sellers, and some of the buyers are taking advantage of that and catching a deal. Again, to me, this is very, very normal. It's what we typically see heading into the holidays, and again, not a big concern. We're coming off all-time highs, $230 per square foot in June. I think we're gonna start rebounding here in the next month or two, and we're gonna head right back up there. The number of new listings on the market, 258 in January. Again, that's up from 224 last year, way up from what we saw last month. We were way down at like 175, 174, something like that last month. It's just been really, really tough as far as new listings on the market. So again, the listings that you're seeing sell, a lot of them have been sitting here for a while, you know what I mean? Because we haven't been getting the new inventory lately. So looking at homes for sale, 447, that's been a steady decline since probably early fall. And, inventory, like I said, on the market is a concern, right? It's kind of what's keeping home prices propped up. A lot of people expected home prices to drop off a lot more as rates rose, but low inventory has kept things kind of propped up where they have been for the last couple of years. So until inventory starts to rebound, I don't think there's any concern as far as the home values dropping off because, it's supply and demand. The number of pending sales increased in January. This is what we would expect, right? In January, after the holidays, more people are getting back into the market, and that's just going to continue to increase as we go into spring. Comparing to previous years, we're up a little bit from last year. Last year we were at 219, in 2022 314, and 2021 311. So 2023 was a down year all in all. You know what I mean? As far as activity goes, we were probably 2/3 of the activity that we saw the previous couple of years, and so it felt a lot slower to a lot of people. Again, it's probably more normal in the long scheme of things. But coming out of the pandemic, it definitely felt a lot slower. So we're rebounding a little bit, and I expect that to continue and to see more buyer activity as we head into the spring. So closed sales, 174 in January of this year, down slightly from 176 in January of 2023, 286 in 2022, and 255 in 2021. Again, typically a lot slower in 2023 than we saw the previous couple of years, but closed sales have not rebounded. Not super concerning again, since we're coming out of the holidays. I do expect buyer activity to pick up. They've got a hold on rates right now. They were talking about dropping rates. They haven't done that. Right now there's a hold. As we head into election year and we get closer to the election, I do believe they will drop rates, and that's only going to help the market. Days on market right now, the median is 28 days on market. Again, we saw super low. Homes were selling incredibly fast during and right after the pandemic. As we head into 2023, we saw it rise and fall a little bit, but really low inventory is a big thing here too. If there's not very many homes on the market, the buyers are going to scoop them up fast. However, the fact that we've seen this rise over the last few months in the holidays, which we would expect, kind of lends to what I've been saying about the average sale price, right? Is you've got fewer buyers in the market. It's taking longer for the homes to sell. Sellers are having to reduce price because they need to sell the house, and that's driving the price down overall. So anyone who tells you that buying a home during different seasons doesn't matter what season you buy in, definitely not true. There are definitely better seasons where you can get a great deal on a home compared to the more active times, when the urgency is higher and a lot of people are in the market and buying. Months of inventory, we've dropped again. We're down to 1.9 months of inventory. That's below 2 months of inventory for the first time since mid-2022. Again, to me, this is the biggest concern in the market. At the same time, it's what's keeping home values elevated. But really, we need to see more inventory in the market because this is just not enough to support buyer demand. Typically, when you're looking at a buyer's market versus a seller's market, they say 5 or 6 months is kind of that middle point of the scale, right? So anything over 5 or 6 months would be considered a buyer's market. There's a lot of properties on the market for them to choose from. They have a lot more negotiating power at that point. When you're all the way down at 2 months of inventory, we're on the extreme seller side. So even though we're seeing prices start to go down, a lot of times sellers are still in the driver's seat as far as negotiations go, because if you've got more than one offer on your property, and a lot of them do, you're going to be able to dictate the terms still because of the number of buyers in the market versus the number of properties available. So in summary, the average sale price is steadily declining as we enter 2024. These seasonal dips are normal during winter months when buyer activity slows to a crawl. Price per square foot dipped to $214 per square foot in January, down significantly from the all-time high of $230 per square foot in June of 2023. New listings rebounded with 258 new Tulare County properties hitting the market in January. That's a 15% increase over the previous January. This is what we want to see going into 2024. Keep them coming, ladies and gentlemen. Pending sales rebounded significantly while closed sales remained low in January. Again, the holidays are typically a slow time, though 2023 was even slower than previous years as a whole. Total inventory on the market fell back to 1.9 months of inventory in January. This continues to be the biggest concern in the real estate market. And again, this is considering not only the number of homes available on the market, but it's also taking into consideration the amount of buyer activity, right? So the number of pending and closed sales versus the number of new homes coming on the market. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Again, we'll be back next month. In fact, I think I'm actually going to expand this series and start doing some individual cities like Visalia, Tulare, and things like that. So you may see future videos this month and future emails covering specific cities. But for now, thank you for watching the Tulare County Market Update, and I'll see you next time. Take care.
Are you having a hard time selling your property or just stressed for time to do it? Won't you contact David Haun at www.meetdavidhaun.com. With 100 plus happy clients, closed deals over 4 years in the business, MBA in digital marketing, and 5-star Google and great client experience. With the skills to compete with anyone in any presentation exposure, beautiful photography, aerials, 4K videos, interactive virtual tours, and even neighborhood spotlights, they'll be used to present property. With professional cleaning on every listing paid by David Haun. Our marketing is very focused on online experience. David provides a Matterport virtual walkthrough on each listing. With the number of buyers we are seeing from the metro areas of California, it's a huge benefit for them to be able to see the house in much detail. Everything is placed on a landing page. That's the hub of all the social media posts, paid ads, circle calls, emails, and text codes that's on the side, which enables David to help you capture leads without any contact. With paid social media ads, David Haun can target anyone who has been on Zillow, Realtor.com, Homes.com within the last 90 days. With everything I can provide, be assured that 10,000 plus active local buyers see your property within the first week. Don't believe me? Check out my testimonies at www.reviewdavidhaun.com.